And don't get it confused, I ain't saying I'm the shit, I'm just better than you. I just said I can beat you like competitors do. Now you're poking at your chest like you got something to prove. It really ain't that serious, so I'ma end this beef like a period.
Cause my pen better. Left DF Dub, NLB was born, I'm a trendsetter. What? We coming for the king. You better not miss. We taking momentum. This a pick six.
Welcome to the Pick Six Podcast. I'm your host, Kyle. Here once again with Los's Madden 18 Power Rankings. Los, what's good?
What's up, baby? It's that time of year again where everybody get mad at my opinion. Fuck you, though.
Also here with Beatty from the Smart Guy Podcast. What's good, Beatty?
Man, chilling. It's like 8:30 in the night of the morning when there's ravens barking at the darkness. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, what he just said. Also joining us, he ain't been on here for a long time. He don't fuck with us no more. What's good, Rio?
Fuck y'all niggas. I'm back though, man. I'm still around, dog. I'm just that cat lurking in the darkness, you know what I mean? Don't get the jokes out right now. But yeah, we
Cut your light on, man. We can't see you, man.
The hell out of here, nigga.
All right, let's go ahead and just jump right into it, Los. You want to take it away, man? Start your rankings.
All right, man. Well, one little thing, if you've been laying under a rock for years or you ain't been in NLV, I do a power rankings for the previous year. All right? So the top 32 users in our group gets in the league, and I rank them 32-1. So I'm going to start.
Wait, before you start, right, let's clarify that. Now, is your rankings based on the previous year, or is it based on a projection for the year to come?
It's based on projections for the year to come. Basically, how I feel that things are going to shake out. It doesn't, like, you can have a guy who's beating this guy way more than the other guy, but I may have him lower than this guy because I feel like he's a better player, and that's just what it is.
Okay. All right. Got you. Because people are kind of confused about that. So, basically, it's a projection for next year, loosely based off of what you did last year.
Loosely. And there's some historical value to it, too. I give cats a little leeway because of what they've done in the past. A little bit. Okay. But it's basically just my opinion of your Madden game. That's it.
So it's not my opinion, it's Los's opinion. So all complaints, bitches, go to him.
Yes, sir. And let's just jump in it, my nigga. So at number 32, we got my boy E. Payne. You feel me? E. Payne. Last year he was number 32 as well. But I think Payne kind of shook back, y'all. Let me holler at my boy Beatty. Beatty, you down? How was Payne as a GM this year?
Okay, as a GM, he did much better than he normally did. His first was still very valuable, but he was able to keep it a couple times, which is good. He saw value in his first because he figured it'd be pretty much worth something, so he kept it. He built some good relationships. Wise, he started finding him some trade partners and actually giving up decent assets to attain some people that he couldn't necessarily develop, which is good if you can't develop. But as a whole, he's trending upward. Now we'll have to see if he can duplicate these things again, more than one season. So if he does it again this next release, then we might be on something.
That's what's up. But like, that's a small overview of Payne's game, right? So, like, I know he didn't move from the last spot in the league, but he actually got better. Like, Payne was on the outskirts in the last season, and the boy put together a hell of a season. His last year, damn near making the playoffs.
Man,
You know, we ain't gonna say
he's
nothing about
35, man. He got helped out, but never mind.
It's whispers of people who was helping him. I don't believe it. I think our league is better than that. Niggas don't edit players. But what I'm saying to you is, Payne got better. You know, he got off the defensive lineman. He started using more. You know what I'm saying? And he stuck to the play art of the defense, and it helped him. So once you become a great user, you're able to roam like my boy Rio would do when he had Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? You can guess where the ball is going. On offense, Payne he's still a 2-receiver route guy, and he'll run the bitch all day. He has to open that offense up. But I'm gonna toss it to Rio a little more to tip. I'm gonna toss it to Rio to let y'all know what he got to do to improve his game, yo.
Yeah, and it's funny because the most I played Payne is when we were in the division together. Now what he does is whatever his strength is as far as his team, he goes to that. The bad side of that is he overuses it. Say when I played him, he had the Cowboys. I knew first, second, and maybe third down he was going to run it because their offensive line was nice. This is when they had DeMarco Murray, though. This is when they had the year before Z. So he overuses things. If it works one time, say if it works in the first quarter, he's going to rely on that all game. The second thing I had is very, very basic with his passing. He'll run, like you said, the two-man routes and send everybody else blocked, or he'll send that tight end just straight. It's almost like he runs the play art the way it's drawn up. He does an audible hot route unless he's going to streak the dude. He's just real one-sided. I think once he starts opening it up, mixing his play calling up, he'll be all right. But you gave him more credit on his user than I hadn't seen that side of it. His user was real, like, beeline-ish. If he played that middle linebacker, that's where he stayed. He didn't move. He didn't roam or nothing. So his user skill was very, very dry. So, Payne, open it up a little bit more, man, and, go in the playbook and find those plays where you can attack like a cover 3 weakness or attack a cover 4 in those seams and post routes. Go over the middle a little bit. Take some chances. I think he doesn't take chances until the game is out of hand, and then he has to start bombing it downfield. So open it up a little bit more, Payne.
I can dig that, bro. But Payne at 32, how y'all fellas feel? Was that a good spot for Payne?
I think it's the only spot. I think it's the only spot for Payne.
That 32 could have went to like 3 to 4 people. It could have went. I don't want to spoil no surprises, but it could have went to 3 or 4 people. And for Payne to get it, nobody is like, "Ooh, I'm shocked." I'm thinking everybody had him at 32.
I think he barely made the cutoff to get in the league. So I mean, it's justified that he was 32.
What about you, baby?
I mean, shit, it ain't much more can be said.
That shit. Let's go to the next one, my nigga. At 31, we got that boy Donnell, the chef, coming in at 31. Before I start my little overview, I'm going to kick it to my boy Beatty again. What you got, Beatty?
Okay, GM-wise, again, a little more savage than the most years past. Was able to keep some decent draft picks. Actually, on the money side, actually, if we went to go look at it, he actually did a great job with re-signing people and not doing his normal chef and signing an old ass dude to a 7-year contract for $137 million. So I'm gonna give him a trending upward as well, trending upward for his GM skills when compared to what we normally see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we had Chef at 30 last year, so he dropped a bit. Now, before we get further along, I'm gonna explain why some of these guys dropped, because we had some new guys that entered the top 32. So it was a lot of movement going on this year. But the overview on Chef, like, I don't think Chef is the 31st worst player in the league. It's just situational football that blows, like, he blows games that he has control over late against people he should win. Like, Chef has beaten guys like the Commish, Kyle, and some other big names out there. So he has a decent game, but he doesn't understand the game to me. I don't know. Rio, how can Chef expand on his game?
I think one of the reoccurring things that you're going to hear me say about these cats in the lower ranks are inconsistency. Chef, like you said, Chef will do everything right quarters 1 through 3, and then that inconsistent behavior is just going to kick in. It's going to be 3rd and inches, and he's going to throw a Hail Mary, think he's catching the defense off guard or something more. His football knowledge, and just to let the podcast know, pretty much when I come in, I'm coming on the strengths, weaknesses, and what they need to do to improve. So for Chef, just learn football. Like, I know it's like Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll in the Super Bowl on the 2-yard line, he tried to get fancy and pass. That's Chef to the T. All logic says running. And Chef is like, I know they expect him to run. I'm gonna try to catch him off guard. So, Chef, sometimes just stick to the script, man. If the situation calls for a run, trust your offensive line, your running back, man. And his reads are real suspect too. Like, he's another standard route guy. You know, he doesn't call any wheel routes. He doesn't call any, combinations. What I learned this year is route combinations. All he is are pretty much pose, drag, go to the flat, hope, something is open on a slant. So mix up your play call.
Okay. So Chef at 31, fellas. Is that a good call? I was kind of shaking with Chef here.
Nah, that's perfect. That's perfect.
I think Chef is better than 31. I think there's a couple guys I'll put my head of. I put my head of Damon. I put my head of Fats. I might even put my head of Tim, because Tim was really one-dimensional. Chef did beat me twice out of 16 times, but he did beat me twice. But yeah, I think Chef is definitely better than Damon, Tim, and Fats this year. He should have been like 20, 28, some around that area.
But Chef can be that 27, 28, but at the same time, he could have been 32, because he just get goofy, dog. What the, like, nigga, man, it's perfect. 31 is
I would say
perfect,
it was some games where Chef was in the game, then at the end he'll do something crazy to lose the game. So it like he's not the worst player. He just make the worst decisions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly what I said earlier. What you got, baby? Nothing?
Shit, y'all asking me. I told you the dude is perfect for 31, man.
You did say, I'm sorry.
And the only reason I say he's perfect for 31 is the fact that he's better than Payne, and Payne is the worst.
All right, my nigga. So now we gonna go to 30.
Let me say one thing.
Okay, go ahead.
If Chef limited his games just to Madden, and not to all those games he played in a limited amount of time, he only has a 2 to 4 hour window to play video games a day, and he plays like 12 games in that window. So if he limited that to 1 game or 2 games, don't you think he'd be a lot better?
Yes, no. Yeah, man. And then
he played like multiple leagues, and like more than one game.
Leagues and multiple games. It's like he gotta be confused.
4 Madden, a 2K league, 2 basketball leagues,
baseball,
3
wrestling,
Batman, Justice League team ups,
Lego Batman.
Assassin's Creed 75.
Y'all gotta chill, dog. Y'all gotta fucking chill, bro.
Go to 30, man.
All right. Number 30. At 30. We got my boy Damon coming in 30 with those old school unis, you feel me? Hey, Baby, what you got on old school unis, Baby?
Well, any GM who would purchase those uniforms needs to be fired immediately. There is no market for 2-bar face masks in this. You cannot market it to your customers and make money with the bucket head style helmets. It's crazy. If we look at the financials as far as team building and whatnot, I mean, he really didn't do anything normally than what he did. He didn't do anything spectacular. You know? Like no real big splashes as far as trading for anybody. When he did keep his pick, he didn't really drive nobody to where everybody was excited. You know, he just take a running back and put a helmet and long sleeves on him and run sweep and toss, dog. That's about it.
That's it, huh? All right, man. What I saw from this kid Damon, bro, like he's known for his throwback units, but like his offense is so basic. Like it's just drag, slants, and he's running the ball, you know. And that's pretty much it on offense. And on defense, he probably had like 3 defensive tops. He wasn't a great user, you know. Like I don't know how you can throw so many interceptions running that many drags, but like, you know, I personally think he's better than Payne and Chef. That's just my opinion because he had some big wins as well in his division. But Rio, can you help Dame out a little bit, bro?
No, I cannot help him out at all, nigga. Name will help him out. First of all, I don't know what to say about this dude. First of all, like a message just popped up on my screen from Facebook inbox, and he said, "You better not lie on me," because this nigga was expecting the worst shit. Like, I'm gonna tell y'all the truth, dog. I know y'all say when you lose to somebody, it's excuses. The reason why I lost to Damon, this is no lie. I went to the fourth quarter. I was literally playing around, dog. It was like 3 minutes left. And this dude's so trash, I was like, man, I'm going to still win this bitch, nigga. I don't give a fuck. Like, I was just throwing shit up. I was calling screens. I was doing everything I wanted, and I still barely lost, like, but I was playing around. So to go on his skill set, I think this dude has literally 5 total plays and 2 of them on special teams. Like, this nigga called one defense. This nigga, this nigga will, like, I took notes on this nigga game so I could fill this podcast up, dog. And I literally have a full notebook sheet of paper on this nigga. Like, his drag route, he overly used drag route. You know he's going to the flat. 3rd and 2, just sit in the cover 2 hard flat, and you're going to get a pick. This nigga is going to go to the post route. He's going to run a post route with an in route. It's just real simple. It's very predictable, dog. I think to help him out, he just has to rely on some of those receivers that, you know, the outside receivers more. He doesn't go outside at all unless it's a tight end running a flag route. So,
so you say he a poor man Spencer is what you're saying?
Hey, man, don't get me in trouble. Let me get myself in trouble, man. Spencer got my number, dog, so I ain't going to say nothing about Spencer. But, yeah, he's just real simple. Drag, slant, man, that's it. I can go on for days, but it's just horrible, dog.
All right, so what y'all got on Dame? This is a good spot. I know, Kyle, this your boy.
Man, Damon should have been 31.
33. 33.
At the highest.
I say Chef. I think Chef is better than Damon.
Damon one of those dudes when you see him on your schedule, you mark it down as a W. You know how you look at your schedule sometimes and you know you like who I play next. then you might see somebody's name like, damn, let me go ahead and, do a little labbing, go check the depth chart. Let me go do this and do that. But when you see Damon on your schedule, you like, you wait till the last minute to play because you know the game gonna be boring. You don't do no type of, you don't progress your players. You just save that XP for next week. And he's the type of dude, like what Real was saying. You play him and you like, I'm gonna win the game. Then fuck around, some Madden shit happens. And he had to remind me that he beat me, I guess, once or twice, because I don't even fucking remember him beating me. That's how much I really think he's relevant to the damn league. I mean, he trash, but he...
Oh, my God. I can't say that as the commission, my
Hey,
nigga.
I'm being honest. He cool. I mean, he cool as a person. I'm talking as a player. If he wasn't in the league, would anybody miss him?
Damn.
How many losses do you have to the bottom three, dog?
Man, I don't know.
Because that nigga called you out with Chef. That nigga called you out with Damon. I think Payne got you 2 or 3
No,
times.
he might. Hey, that's them. That's them.
I ain't calling him out with that.
Hey, that's them games where you go in a game, you're like, hey, I'm just gonna fuck around and just run fucking DB type defense and try to run all cover 3 and cover 4 beaters.
Hold on. I said there will be no DB slander on this podcast, my nigga. We ain't doing it tonight.
But
DB should have been 30. DB should have been 32 this
But I
year.
want Damon to get better. Cause I want him, because like I said, he runs the league. He helps run the league too. But he's important over there. I mean, if he was just over there, he'd be cool.
That dude worse than Luke with editing, man.
What happened?
Hey, man, look out, man.
That dude be editing. That dude be forcing. That dude is the worst commissioner in life. Them League 2 stand up, man. That dude horrible.
He needs to get better, man. I don't think he gonna make it out this Madden. I don't think he gonna make it out. Depending on what division he in.
Oh, so he in cut status, my nigga? You think he on the line?
Depends on what division conference he go to, because his game is really, really bad.
Ugh, damn. See, I was gonna do a little segment on the guys I thought that would be in danger of that, but I left it alone, man. I'm not gonna be calling.
You just said 3 that's in danger.
All right. Hey, man, no, don't do that. You know, Chef get real sensitive, dog. Chef be ready to cuss folk out because of that shit.
You can't say he gets sensitive because he'll get sensitive, my nigga. All right, man.
Don't worry about it. He ain't listening.
We're gonna go to 29. And at 29, I don't know how Beatty feel, but I feel like he's the worst GM ever. That boy Tim coming in at 29. What you got, Beatty?
I can confirm that he probably is the worst GM ever, based on historical data that shows us that the first time he stepped in the league, he took a 99 overall team and made them a 78 in one advance. One advance. One event.
Shit.
So when we look at player development, the only person that probably develops players worse than Tim is like your boy Wop, and he ain't even in the league. So I don't know, because Wop don't even know how to add XP apparently. So other than that, man, he a good guy. He a good guy, but his skill as far as building a team, they definitely need a lot of upgrade. He need to get in snake class with Archie or something. I don't know.
Man, like, Tim reminds me of DB in a sense that he really enjoys playing Madden, all right? And did Tim, like, almost win that division after all money?
He did almost one time.
Like, I think he was...
Chef Mad.
Yeah, I think he was all right.
Chef Mad.
But, like, all he does is run... Power trap, strong power, whatever that run that was cheesy this year was. You know what I'm saying? He would run that. And Tim, like, he be playing football, like he be motioning guys.
Like, he ain't gonna run power up.
Funny, like, it don't make no damn sense because we know power old coming, you know what I'm saying? But that's all I got on that cat, man. Rio, what you got, bro?
I have absolutely nothing. This dude, and I played this cat there. Everybody in the league that talks shit about Tim beating me in these head-to-head games, first of all, y'all got to understand, nobody else liked playing head-to-head, so all I had to play was 10. Every other night, it was 10. So, nigga, I started picking different teams. I started trying shit. Then he started beating me, and the league was like, oh, that nigga own you. No, that nigga don't, bruh. That's why that nigga didn't get it. I spotted him 21 points. I told that nigga, I'm going to spot you 21 points. And if you lose, you going to give me your spot. I mean, put the spot up. And that nigga would not take the bet because he knew what it was. But to Los's point, I think his offense consists of like 3 plays. He runs. Even on 3rd and like 8, he'll try to catch you slipping and run again. His passing is very basic. He attack, like, it's a handful of people. It's maybe 10 people at the very bottom of this ranking. All I know that they run is slant, and then they'll send the running back to the flats. Like, he's one of those guys. He doesn't try to expand his pass plays. He doesn't open up. This nigga Tim done mentioned me on Facebook, so I'm finna go even harder. This nigga don't even comb his hair. This shows that kind of savage that nigga has, dog. Like, Tim my dog though, man. I ride with that nigga all day, man. But he need to defensively. I really can't remember Tim running anything other than cover 2 and like a blitz. He threw in a blitz every now and then. So his defense consists of 3 plays, man. Shit, man. Getting loud, dog. Fine plays. That's all I can tell him, man.
All right. Tim at 29, fellas. Is that a good spot for Tim?
Looking at the list, look at who's left. I think it's a good spot for Tim. I don't think Tim is really that bad as he seems to be. I think he just stuck on running one play. I don't think he's that bad. I don't think he's the worst GM. The worst GM is your boy. But you say you want us to say his name. He's the worst GM. Tim just makes he's just another guy that makes stupid trade decisions. He's a guy that needs to be in the league with a damn trade committee. If he was in the league with a trade committee and they had a rule that you couldn't run one play more than twice a quarter, he might be pretty good.
Man, I really think Tim-wise, if we can go with gameplay, if we do the whole matrix of gameplay, personality, whatever, talk about style and all that stuff, I'm gonna say Tim's better than DB. So I think DB's name should have been called before Tim.
I mean, if you look where Tim came from, when Tim first came to the league, Tim was posting videos of him losing. Like, so he doesn't do that anymore. He, like I said, he likes playing the game. You know, he's into the league. He shows up to different events. I think he just needs to lab a little bit more. Leave that power alone. Just don't run it so fucking much. You know what I'm saying?
One thing I give Tim, dog, is his offensive user ability. Like, he'll use the juke stick. He'll use the user catch. His user skill offensively. Like, defensively is it's not even there. But offensively, I would rank him maybe 28, just because I'm looking at this list and I'm like, wow, I don't know how DB still ain't been called. But Tim, he like, his user ability on offense will help him win games against people like DB. It'll win games against people like Chef, Damon, even Beatty. I think he'll beat Beatty every now and then off his. And this ain't a jab. It's just saying I think he'll do that. So.
You know how the saying goes on a multiple choice question that if you pick all C's, you have a good chance of passing, but that shit don't never work. Tim, power O, every play don't never work. Change it up.
All right. So we had Tim at 29. Rio, speaking of jabs, coming in at 28 is my boy, Beatty. All right. But Beatty is, we going to have to toss it to you, Kyle. What type of GM is Beatty?
I wasn't even ready for this. Far as GMs, I think Beatty is one of the better GMs in the league. I think he prefers being a GM guy over a player type person, whatever. Like if this was head coach 2017, Beatty probably be elite. But I think the only thing I don't like that Beatty does, but that's how I know he likes the GM so much. He'll get a guy, he'll progress him for like a couple seasons, maybe even just one season. Next thing you know, that guy's on the block. He want to keep getting more picks, keep getting more picks, so he can build more players. That's what he really enjoys. As far as the gameplay, Beatty was a whole lot better previous Maddens than he was last Madden. I didn't play Beatty that much though. Beatty shouldn't have been third, fourth guy in the division. With him, Derek and Payne, he should have been second in that division every time. So that's my thoughts.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, Kyle. Like, I think if Beatty actually sat down and put into the game what he did into the inboxes and trades and shit, like he's a magician. I think Beatty's a top 5 GM. And like on 13 and 14, he was a decent player. But like you said, he'll progress a guy, trade him, start a new storyline, progress a guy, trade him, start a new storyline, instead of collecting all those assets and building. Like, he builds great teams, but he trades them out before they become super teams. And take that energy that you put in the GMing and put it into this side of the game. He's a decent user. He can actually pass well. You know, he forces stuff a lot. But Rio, what you got, man? What can make our guy get better on the sticks?
Actually, the funny thing about it is, man, Beatty, everybody know he loves the off the field action of Madden. And honestly, I think that hurts his on the field game, because he'll get a storyline guy and he'll develop that one player. You know what I mean? Like when I was in his division, he had that one receiver, and that's all he went to. Win, lose, or draw, he was going to go to that one receiver. When he finds a storyline guy, he overdoes it. I think his GM-manship, I know I ain't supposed to be coming on this one, but I think his GM-manship has his strength on the trade and finding those gems. I think his gameplay doesn't help his GM-manship because he doesn't fully develop his whole roster. He'll develop 1 or 2 players. But I think if he stopped focusing on the off-the-field aspect of Madden and put a little bit more energy into his whole squad, like if he focused on 3 receivers instead of just 1, if he focused on the running back instead of just the quarterback, you know what I mean? I think he'll open up his gameplay and start throwing it to those other receivers that have 1 catch while that other dude have 15. So, you know what I mean? Just use your other players, baby. You a hell of a GM. I don't know how you be pulling out some of these trades, but if you put some of that focus on gameplay, I think you'll be straight.
It's not too many people in the league that have players that transcend the Madden. Like if you say Guy, the wide receiver he was like the start of people 99 and out wide receivers.
Start out this bullshit we doing right now.
And I think that as far as Beatty, when you build that player, don't trade him. Go to the next player and build that player. Because even if you just have them on a team and make your team better, you'll be better. So that's all I gotta say.
Beatty, what you got on Beatty, my nigga?
Man, dude, overconfident, think he know everything, man. Don't know when to shut up. Talk crazy to the ball all the time. I don't think he'll bust a grape in a food fight. But then again, he'll eat the food in the food fight, which means he will bust that bitch. So it's whatever.
All right, so I know this was a controversial call. What y'all think about Beatty being at 28, bro?
I think I was expecting 26-ish, but 28.
Okay.
I mean, it's not a huge difference.
I think there's a couple guys. There's probably 3 guys ahead of him he should be ahead of. I mean, not just saying it because he's on here, but being honest.
Oh wow.
But hey, Beatty, let me ask you this: how important is it to actually win in Madden to you? Like, I know you like to compete and play, but I don't think winning is important. Like, winning ain't the most important factor. And I think if he did care about winning, he would be 20-ish. I just see him at the end of games, and he's still like, fuck it.
I think it was also a factor of that division. I don't think he even thought that he had a chance to win that division. So it's like, okay, let me go do what I like to do. Like, if he was in the division with like more even players, that he could see the light. Maybe he had a chance to win that division. I think he'd have been a lot better. But being in the division with Karma, he's like, I ain't gonna win that bitch. So
that's why I'm trying to get Bo to follow me, man. You know, he trash. So.
Still though, like, I felt like he should have been second in that division.
Should have been second every year.
More times than not. You know, he should have been second more times than not, and kind of let me down on that.
But one more thing. Then again, that team was terrible. He started with. That team was very terrible.
I can dig it. All right, we gonna go to 27, and we got my boy Fats coming in at 27. Baby, what you got, Fats, on the GM?
Damn, you put, oh wow. Well, if we go GM, let me stick to the GM stuff. If we go straight GM, then you know what? He's in that Tim Dane. No, he's in that Tim DB range. He right down there. He kind of, you know, he don't do nothing. He don't ever really do nothing ever. And if you try to get a deal with the man, like, he approaches it all like he trades a lot, but he don't do a lot. He just kind of play, and then he's not active enough when he's not playing good to really, you know, grasp what's happening. He's just kind of there.
I hear that. My thing with Fats is, I know the guy, and I know the type of player he is when he's playing often. Alright? Because I played him like, middle, what they call iron sharpens iron. We used to bang, 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 and the dude would beat me as much as I beat him. But we got into the league, and as we progressed, and as guys started finding these different schemes, my nigga started getting the life out here. You know what I'm saying? He find a girlfriend, something, you know what I'm saying? And he doesn't play Madden as much as he used to play. And I know that to be fact, you know what I'm saying? I know he could be better if he sat down and played. He had a very bad release this time. Like, the release was so bad that he may be on that list to be getting booted, you know what I'm saying? And that's a shame, because he's a good player once he locks in. Rio, how can you help Fats get better?
Nigga, did you just quote a Bible scripture, nigga? You been reading the Bible?
Which one?
Iron sharpens iron. And he said iron sharpens iron. I feel you.
That's Game of Thrones, dog.
But, Fats, man, I don't have a lot of experience playing Fats, but when I did, man, I honestly don't know. Like, he's one of those cats you play and you feel like it's an easy win and the game goes that way, but you don't know what he did wrong. You know what I mean? Because he runs the ball pretty well. But, I mean, his passing, if anything, definitely needs work. Defense, open up the play, but he doesn't blitz. When I played him, he didn't blitz too much at all. I think you've got to incorporate some of those blitzes, change the defensive look. Like, I knew when I came out and I had success with this play, or even if a play didn't work, I was like, damn it, it was open right there. Let me do the same scheme on this next play, and I'll be damned if it wasn't open that next play, because he did the same thing. So, hey, change your looks up, dog. Change your looks up, man. So, I really don't know what the problem is. I just know that it's really simple. You know what I mean? Like, he runs the ball, he passes the ball. But you like, damn. Well, shit. He's open.
Damn.
So
That's so basic ass offense and defense.
Yeah.
I got you.
it's real basic.
All right, so that came off as homie love. Y'all sound like Fat should have been further down the list. What you got? Where should Fats have been?
I think Fats, he's one of the guys who should have been lower, below Beatty, based on his last release. But we know Fats is a lot better. I think Fats wasn't motivated. I think Fats was more anti-establishment. He was more to the pettiness of fights with other people in the group. Talking about the XP this and it's like it was that he didn't have time to play. It wasn't that he just didn't. I think he wasn't even motivated to play. Like you didn't even know Fats was in the league. Cause I'm thinking hard. I'm convinced. Like what team did Fats have? It's hard to think about what team he had.
Yeah.
Like he just wasn't engaged in the league at all. And I think maybe because he didn't have his Chiefs or he doesn't trade. He doesn't build. He doesn't build players well. He's not. I mean, I don't think he just wasn't engaged into Madden. He's going into the block category. You know how block. People said block didn't want to be in the league. He played the games to play the game, but he's not engaged. Fats is leaning towards that block category.
Yeah. That's another thing that could have helped his game. I know a lot of times I hit him in the inbox like, what's up with this trade? And first of all, he didn't respond for like 2 days. And then when he did respond, it was always like, oh, because I look at the depth chart before I request a trade. And so he'll be like, hey, I use this dude on kickoff. Or, yeah, I use this dude in packages or whatever. And I was like, no, you don't, nigga. This nigga's not even playing. So if he engaged in some of those trades, if he engaged in, I don't even know if he runs drills or practices, but if he did some of that to get that XP up, build his players up, that'll help his game too.
Just one more thing, I think like a lot of these guys that used to be good, that like are getting worse. They're just like old folks that's the old 50-year-old guy with the razor phone and with the buttons. But don't know we have touchscreen now. Like they just stuck in their ways, and like you got to adapt to the matter. You can't just be stuck in the old ways of doing things. You got to adapt to it, and you guys just don't know how to adapt. They just don't know, and don't care to know.
That's a very solid point there, brother. What you got, baby? Anything?
I did that razor phone. That was pretty brutal. That was brutal, but. Yeah, I mean, I believe, like I said, if he in a perfect world, he would have his Chiefs every release and he would be engaged every release. And so he might be making a choice: do I just want to play Madden because I like it, or I just like playing Madden because I like to play the Chiefs? So if he answered that question in the affirmative, then that means this might be like Payne, might be his last release.
If Fats can't get the Chiefs, Fats need to go to a division where he can create a rivalry with somebody he don't like or somebody he know he's better than.
Tell him take the Steelers in the NFC North. So me and Bo in there right now, so he can come with us.
That's what he needs to do. He needs to find some type of way to get excited. I don't think he's excited about Madden. I haven't even seen Fats on the page about saying anything about Madden this whole summer. Not one Madden thing. Not anything about rankings, about ratings, about nothing.
Damn, you right.
Well, that nigga called me out one time. He said I'm only active in the off season when I'm making videos. That nigga said I suck in Madden. So if that counts, then he was on there.
Damn, that was kind of brutal. All right, well, it's gonna get worse here. At number 26, we got the guy Kyle, who Kyle thinks is the worst GM in the league. My boy DeMarcus Bryant. Affectionately known as Eddie around these parts. Baby.
Right, so,
as a GM.
As a GM, his marketing and advertising department should all be fired because he keep pushing the same bone collector shit every year after year. And I'm really tired of it, dog. I'm really tired of it. let's come up with something else, man. You need to get your new marketing department, get you some new community outreach, something. Come up with something else. For some reason, DB will always end up with no first, no seconds, and no thirds from his draft time, and will draft 55th and all 6, and he's the last one that says, I had plans for my 7th. I need to pick that. Don't see him. So, to me, that's not affecting GMship at all, man. At all. So,
You're right, though.
I'm sorry, DB, but you probably on that bottom tier, cuz. I'm sorry, cuz.
Oh my God. Look, this had to be the worst release for my boy. And it hurt. It hurt seeing what was going on in Carolina. Because I know he plays this game. Like, DB loved Madden more than any nigga in the group. I believe that with everything in my heart. And he's in like 3 leagues, I think. I don't know. Like, DB is in the league to this day. You know what I'm saying? And he do shit on defense that undermines everything he's trying to do, aka win. Like I don't understand how you could, like, you don't change any assignments on your secondary at all. Like, you don't do it unless you just know where this guy's going. Like, he'll put a deep blue into a light blue. Like, you can't do that shit on Madden, and it'll just be a guy running wide open. Like, DB, it's so fucking frustrating because I know he can play Madden, dog. Like, when he's locked in, like, DB went to a Super Bowl. I know it's old as shit, but he went to a Super Bowl. Anyway, Rio, you and DB go into it all the time. What you got for DB, bro?
Man, I was in DB's division in 3 leagues, dog. And not even NLB League 1. Outside of NLB League 1, I was in his division in 3 leagues, bruh. Now, I think we all know his biggest problem is he just changes every assignment on defense. Like, but everybody's quick to point out the bad times or the times that don't work, which is 80% of the time. I think the strength of his game is that 20% of the time when it works, or when he's playing somebody who doesn't know DB is going to change that cornerback to blitz in, and like people that are slow making reads, he'll beat those people because they won't see that starting number 1 receiver wide open, and they'll just get sacked. So DB thing, I think he also suffers from the same thing Beatty does. He loves a storyline. I agree with Los. He loves Madden. He loves the off-the-field aspect, but he loves a storyline. He'll do that collector shit with the trashiest. That nigga started it like this year. He did it with who he do it with this year? Like Logan Thomas. You can't develop that nigga. That nigga is 95 years old, DB. So that's the point. Take a trashy player and his skill set, like when Chop did Lovelock, Chop took that sorry quarterback and built him up. DB, you're not that good, so don't do a collector with a sorry quarterback that you're never going to build up because you're going to throw 3 picks a game. That's another thing on this offense. He forces the pass. Like, he is very predictable. Like, before the snap, I knew exactly what DB was going to do. So, yeah, man, it's frustrating talking about DB's game. But, yeah, man, I think he'll be all right this year. I think he's going to stop getting goofy. I think he's going to just start playing straight Madden. And I think he'll be all right.
Y'all got me second-guessing my picks for the last 2, man. Was that homie love?
My turn?
Should DB be at 26? Yeah, should DB be 26?
DB is the second guy that should have been lower than Beatty. DB should have probably had a 3 in front of his number.
Damn.
And
Damon Payne and Chef?
hey, DB did terrible. I mean, let me start with saying good things. I like DB. I think DB, he loves playing Madden. DB, he's the type of person that he'll go in the lab and just lab defense. I hate labbing defense. DB will lab defense. I wish I had that inside of me to go in the lab and just lab straight defense. On the other hand, DB make very questionable trades. I think he traded Kuechly for like Shane Ray and something else or some shit like that. I'm like, why is Kuechly over here in Denver? I mean, I don't understand it. Then he'll like Beatty brought about his picks. DB won't never have any first, seconds, or thirds. But you look on his team and you don't see any first, second, or third caliber players. Like, where are these first, second, and thirds going to? Who they going for? His team would be terrible. Like, very terrible. Then you say like the defense. DB is so stubborn. DB is he remind me of like my grandpa, my great grandpa. He like, you can't tell him shit, but he try to tell you everything. He try to give you every advice out there. But you tell him one thing, I don't want to hear that shit. You can't tell me what the fuck to do. DB will he'll be in your inbox and try to give you adjustments to every damn scheme in the game. If you say one thing to DB, is like, I'll play the game how I want to play it. How can you say you play the game how you want to play it, but you're always trying to offer advice? That makes no sense to me. If you just listen sometimes, people try to help you. And it's sad that we sit here and talk about DB like this, because 2 or 3 years ago, people wouldn't talk about DB because DB would Photoshop the shit out you. DB don't even Photoshop no more. It's like nobody even scared of this guy anymore. It's like, come on, man. It's terrible.
Wins affect that, dog.
It's not even about winning. It's about just he has his picture painted of him that he doesn't want to shake for some odd reason. I don't get it. Like, everybody says you fuck up your defense, so what he does, he fucks it up some more. You in a game you're beating them, he'll start punting you the ball. Like, it's just dumb shit like that. I don't understand it. Why he does things like that. But I know he loves playing Madden, so I don't get it. Because he's still playing Madden. My phone stay popping up DB going online streaming. I'm like, god damn.
Yeah. Oh man, that was like pulling teeth, dog. That was like pulling teeth. But at 25, baby, you ain't have nothing, did you? Did you have anything?
No, I'm good. Keep it moving.
At 25, you got the gorilla, sir. Mr. West Coast, Tig coming in at 25. What you got, baby?
Now, Jim's style of Tig is a little more reserved. He will pull the trigger when he has a good deal. Other than that, though, he does keep it more reserved. But his style for him works because he'll amass talent, he'll develop talent, but he won't willy-nilly trade. But he will trade. He will make big trades. He's not scared to pull the trigger on some things when he gets some decent players. So GM-wise, he's definitely gotten better. He's a solid anywhere from a 20 to like a 10 in that range, depending on the day of a GM. He's not that bad.
Okay. And to add on that, both say he only drafts storyline guys that they show on Madden, but that's neither here nor there. Tig, as a player, is actually, like, I think Tig is a decent player. Anytime I play him, he gives me a pretty good game. Like, he probably beat me last year, too. I'm not sure. I have to check the Smart Guy podcast spreadsheet, but he plays that's no real razzle-dazzle to his game. He runs, throw flags. He'll throw a deep pass. He's not afraid to call different defenses. My only thing with T is the defensive line. He lives on the defensive line a lot. And I think that hurts his defense. But he's still, I think Tig is a decent player. Rio, what you got?
I actually, this is, man, from my playing experience with Tig, I thought this was kind of low. I thought I'd see Derek Hurd. I thought I'd see Smith before him. So I thought it was low, but I'm like you. He's a pretty solid player. I think his biggest thing is his mistakes. Like, I play people, I consider the margin of error. Like, if I play Reed or if I play, Chop, or if I play one of these leagues, I say I can't afford to throw an interception. Can't afford to do this. Can't afford to do that because they're not going to turn the ball or they're not going to make any big, mistakes. Tiggs makes a lot of mistakes during the game. He blows coverages on defense. He blitzes when the situation doesn't call for it. He but he's pretty good. Mute. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
No, I think there's a little echo going on. But as far as that goes, guys, what about 25? That's too high, too low?
I think it's that echo is killing me.
If you would have told me before the list started that he was 25, I'd say that's okay. But then I started to look at the names that haven't been called, and I'm like, Earl to me is not better than Tiggs. Smith is not better than Tiggs. So seeing the names left, I'm like, Tiggs should have been a little bit lower, or not lower, like he should have been 20ish.
I think Tig is probably right where he needs to be. I think he's in the right spot. He's not the worst. And right now he's mid tier, but I think he's in the right spot.
I kind of lean towards what Rio was saying. I think Tig is a little bit better than a couple more guys. And I won't say I love Tig. Tig is one of the funniest guys in the league. His videos be funny as hell to me. His perspective, even if it's wrong, is funny to me. He hardly ever gets mad about anything about Madden. He doesn't do the nerdy thing, as he call it. Far as play, Tig will fuck around and streak your ass to death if you cut you slipping. He would throw them streaks out there, and I don't know how, but that guy he had always caught the damn streaks. So and he gave Earl fits. I mean, Earl didn't know what the fuck to do with Tig. I think Tig might have beat Reed once. I'm not sure, but I think Tig should have been a couple. He should have been a couple spots higher, in my opinion.
Okay. All right. So.
Hey, hang on 1 second. Let me mute everybody and unmute because I got this echo.
All participants are muted, and they can unmute themselves. All participants are unmuted.
Oh, let's try it now. It's still echoing.
Yep.
Go ahead, Los.
Beatty ain't echo at all.
Why? Was I supposed to echo?
I don't know. I don't know what's the difference. Okay. At 24, we got that boy Michael Smith coming in at 24. Smith dropped 8 spots. He was at 16. That was a very big drop. I skipped over DB's drop. His drop was like 11 spots. But Smith as a GM, Beatty, what you think?
Hey, Beatty, that's your mic, or I don't know if you're watching it or something, but that's your echoing.
I'm echoing. I'm sitting here by myself.
Yeah, I just muted you and the echo went out.
Oh. Well, I think I heard it that time. Look at that. Look at that. Computer probably tired because it's midnight and shit. So.
Yeah, dang.
Man, who we talking about, man? I wasn't listening. I was echoing. Who we talking about?
We talking about Smith.
Oh shit! Do we need to? Now, for his credit, he'll pull the trigger, but he pulls trigger based off emotion, not necessarily necessity. So he'll go after people, make a big trade, make a big splash, just to get a kid to play with on the game. But he's good at keeping the people that he gets initially and develop him. And he'll keep one guy. He'll keep the same quarterback the whole thing. He'll keep the same receiver the whole release. He'll keep the same people. So he's not heavy in rotation as far as late in the release, but early on, first 1-2 seasons, he'll give you what you want.
No doubt. As far as Smith's game, dog, like I think Smith is a good Madden player, yo. Like he can pass it, he can run when he wants to. He'll stick to the run if the pass isn't working. His defense needs a little work because he try to play on the free safety and you can get him to bite. But my thing is, like once he made himself as a receiver, that really hurt his Madden game, in my opinion. Rio, what you got? I gotta go take a piss, fella.
Man, it's like we attacking Smith from a different angle. Both of us, I took on my notes, he need to stop using that safety. Like, you can catch him out of position because he overused that safety. Offensively, he is very, 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 I can't overemphasize this, he is very predictable. Like, I see the formation he comes out in, and I'm like, I know exactly what he's going to do. I think he needs to run more, too. He passes inconsistently, but sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not good. But I think he needs to implement the run a little bit more as well. So, we come in at Smith from a different angle. I was like, he's not as solid as passing as I think he just made it.
Is this nigga peeing? Oh, man.
That nigga low, bellow.
That boy peeing, man. He unmuted
Y'all
himself.
heard that shit, bro?
Yeah, man.
Oh, I ain't got no headpiece on my earphone. You hear
But yeah,
shit.
I just disagree with you on Smith over. I think he could have been already called a little bit earlier too. But yeah, and I think his off the field, like Beatty said, he doesn't trade. If you look at roster at the very end of Madden, he looked like he came in with the exact same team that he started out with. So he needs to make a little bit more trades, a couple more trades, and develop a little bit better.
All right. So Smith at 24. Kyle, what's your thoughts about Smith at 24, dog?
My first thoughts is Beatty, you're still muting. I mean, you're still echoing. Smith at 20. Where he's at? What number we on?
24.
That's about right. He might have could been lower because he really didn't. He was more focused on just developing one player, pretty much. That wide receiver. I think the worst thing that happened to him this release was renaming his players to himself. So he tried to make him the best player in the game.
Group members.
But far as like Smith is a whole lot engaged in the league now. He doesn't make terrible trades. He does know how to progress his players. He doesn't have the best team. He doesn't have the worst team. He's just like the middle of the road. I think he could be a lot better than what he is, though. I don't think it's just not. I think I don't know. It's not too much really to say.
And another mistakes guy. He has a lot of mistakes in his gameplay.
See, I played Smith way more than y'all, so I have a different perspective. Like, I kicked his ass all release pretty much, but the dude played me tough, man. Like, it wasn't just always 60 to 22, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I think he's right, on the edge of, mid-major, as they call him now. So I think Smith is good.
I think one of the things he does need to stop doing, I think he does need to stop using the safety, the free safety.
Yeah.
Maybe if he uses the strong safety, if he play like a cover 3 or a cover 2, just one side of the field, but he uses the free safety in like cover 3 coverages when you have the whole back end of the field, and it's easy to manipulate that. I think that's one of his downfalls on defense.
Yeah,
Agree. I agree with that.
All right. You got anything, Beatty? No?
Next.
All right. Number three. At 23, we got the boy coming in, the Deacon, Mr. Kiba. Beatty, your Smart Guy podcast mate. What you got on him?
Well, GM wise, he is very difficult to trade with. He does a decent job drafting and developing, but he might overthink trades more than I do as far as being able to put a good one together that'll help his roster out. And I think that's probably his area of content. You know, he might need to try to maybe loosen up his restrictions and not so much try to win every trade, but to make some decent deals which can help strengthen his roster. Because you don't really just trade a lot. You don't really see a lot, but he always does a lot of posturing. Like he's always in the box shooting offers and comparing and drawing comparables, but you know, we never ever end up making a trade. So you know, it's one of those things.
Kiba had a dope release. He was like number 14 on my last power rankings, and he dropped like 9 spots. Kiba, to me, can be a lot better player because the things that he do, he's good at it. He used the verts, he'll drag, and he eats. Like, he made a great receiver in the kid from Baylor, I forget his name. He ended up being like 90 Coleman. Yeah, he ended up being a beast. He made a beast out of his tight end. I think he made all NLB. It was close. So he has, like, he doesn't make bad reads all the time. He's a decent player. But, like, I think this is a thing, like, we're the no-life boys, and Kiba sometimes has more of a life than the most of us. And I think if Kiba actually labbed and opened up his playbook is razor thin. If he opened up his playbook, Kiba would be a problem in this league. Like damn near knocking on top 10. That's just how I feel about it. What you think, Rio?
You took half the words out of my mouth. He runs the hell out of Bert. Like, nigga, calm it down some. Everybody knows he's gonna run that tight end across the middle. I disagree. Well, I ain't gonna say I disagree, but his playbook is bigger than some people's, but it's very limited. Like, he'll call the same burst out of 4 different formations. I guess he was a little bit more cool with Beatty because I couldn't get a trade out of this dude for the last 3 The only time I got trades out of him is when he did the bums stick together, the bum movement, and I feel that worked against him because he ended up with a lot of furs, but he gave he over donated to the bums, you know what I mean? So I think he needs to trade, not like Beatty said. I don't think he needs to have to win every trade, but sometimes you got to go after those pieces that your team really needs, like a good quarterback or a nice defensive back. I think once his players got old, he was relying on developing, and it left a lot of middle ground there. But just open up the playbook offensively. Stop running the same route, slant. He's going to run the hell out of slant. And defensively, I think he needed to take a couple more chances. He is very inconsistent but very standard on his play calling on defense.
All right. So Kiba at 23. Good, bad.
I think it's a good spot for Kiba. This release, he fell down some, but I think he had a lot of personal things going on as far as school, work, moving, things like that. I want to look at that.
Damn, I had school, work, and I moved too. I didn't get damn.
I didn't know that though. I want to look at it from a different perspective for Kiba. I think the way Kiba can get better, Kiba enjoys he enjoys working with numbers. That I can tell. He does a lot of how can you say it? He does he does with the data that he does. Imagine if he could do that for every team, and he go into a game and know that on third down he likes to do this, on first down he likes to do this, on second down he likes to do this. I wouldn't do it. It'd be too much work for me, and I don't know how to do it. But he enjoys doing stuff like that. So if he did something like that,
Madden did
it wasn't accurate though. Madden wasn't accurate. But if he did something like that, something he enjoyed, and brought into his Madden game, I think he'd be a whole lot better.
Damn, that make a lot of sense. What you got, baby?
I mean, that's a valid point, you know. But like you said, most people though, if most people did make more time, they probably would be better. If I made more time, or if I had more time to make, I would be better. That's just how I go, you know. Priority.
No doubt.
I think Kiba was the head of the. He was the head of the anti-establishment. This Madden, he was more into pushing the borders of the. Like, even when I post stuff, I want to make sure I word it right, because I know Kiba will be like, "Hey, it's worded like this." So, you know, did you really mean this or did you really mean that? Like, God damn, I ain't got no damn college degree. I type how I talk.
Word, my nigga. So, all right. So, Kiba was 23. At 22, we got the old man from St. Louis, Mr. TD on the TV, Derek. What you think, baby? Is Derek a good GM, my nigga?
For wherever his roster starts at, after we start week 1 of the season, it's gonna be like a 69 overall, 70 overall roster. He literally, like, he burns it down from the bottom, but it's like when he burns it down, he don't recoup enough to see where he burned it down at. So, you know, like he'll get rid of a whole bunch of people. The roster be like a 72, but then you'll look, it won't really be like some first there. He'll trade, because he'll say, I like this kind of guy. So he'll trade really good players and then get back a 92 speed running back with like 99 truck, but got the elusiveness of like a dump truck, you know. And then, you know, he'll call him Black Tank, you know, and then he'll quit after I beat him and sweep him in the season. You know, that's just how I don't get it. So, but GM wise, he's a bottom tier GM. He nothing really exciting. When he makes trades, he gets real happy, but it's usually with DB, who we know don't make good trades anyway. So yeah, I don't know, man. No, I really don't know if that's true or not, but it just sounded funny. But he really doesn't. Derek doesn't really do anything GM wise that jumps off the table. He's probably a bottom tier GM.
All right, so Derek. When I think of Derek, the first thing that jumps out at me is blitzes. He loves it. Like when I was playing him one time, Derek, he was hitting me like from the left side of my offense. He did it like 4 times. And I eventually caught on to it, and I started shifting my line and blocking, motioning my fullback and shit. But he kept running the fucking blitz. And I just started throwing that bitch deep, and it got real ugly, you know what I'm saying? But if y'all remember, Derek, in the first season, he jumped out. He made the playoffs. Because I remember playing him in the playoffs. So he has the game. I don't think his game grew as the year went on. Like, he didn't pick up things. So if he just pick up some things on offense and open his defense, like, stop sending these fucking zero blitzes, bro. And stop, you know what I'm saying? You got to cut that shit out. So that's what I got on Derek. What you got, Rio?
Hey, the funny thing is Derek coined the phrase user. And when I looked at his videos, the nigga wasn't usering the player from the beginning. He would click on the dude and user it. So I think his user skill, that nigga user skill is very overrated. Like, he doesn't have user skill. So on defense, that blitz, and everybody knows, I hope I ain't giving this game away because everybody know this nigga blitz. Like Lo said, the very first time I played him, he blitzed so much, I was like, damn, what the hell is going on? And I thought he was nanoing. Matter of fact, he got suspended for nanoing the first time I played him like 2 seasons ago. And so once you figure out that blitz, he always comes from the same side. Like, he doesn't. Well, he may flip it or whatever else. If he sees like a tight end to the right, he'll flip it to the left. But he overuses it because once you figure it out, you can attack exactly where he's blitzing from. If he blitzes that linebacker, you go right there in the middle. If he blitzes from the outside, you go right to that outside receiver. So he overuses the blitz. He needs to step up his user skill. Like, his blitzes are great, but it would work better if he could use that middle linebacker better. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to blitz from the outside, you got to have a middle linebacker that has the range to cover that slant or that comeback route. And I don't think his user skill is that good. Offensively, I think he is very stale. Like, he's predictable. You know where he's going to throw it. You know where he's going to, when he's going to run it. Like, sometimes you got to run out of a pass formation and pass out of, you know, a I formation. And he doesn't do that. When he comes out in I formation, he's going to run it. And when he comes out in pass formation, he's going to pass it. So.
Derek at 22, guys. What you got, Kyle?
On the strength he made the playoffs one time, he might could be a couple spots higher. I want to say first, I love Derek. I think Derek is he's like Tig. He's funny as hell, man. He's a funny guy. I think Derek would be better next Madden because Derek is probably the only guy to admit that he's been doing things the wrong way, and that he's gonna do it differently next Madden. He's like the only guy who has admitted that. Other than that, as y'all was saying, his defense, the same blitz every play, over and over again. I think he needs to change that up. But even if he wanted to do that blitz, bring something behind that blitz. You know, bring somebody down to cover that area you blitzer from. He's not bringing anybody down to cover that area. He's just blitzing and there's nobody there, so it's open. His offense isn't really that bad. But I haven't really played him a lot, to tell the truth, so I can't really say it's not that bad. When I played him, it wasn't that bad. But other than that, he's also another guy that needs to be in the know. I mean, it's so easy where everybody don't have time like everybody don't have time like me to play Madden. Let's put it, everybody knows that. But you have a smartphone. On your smartphone, there's an app called Twitch. And on Twitch, there's somebody streaming Madden 24/7. 24/7, somebody streaming Madden. If you just go on there and watch 5-10 minutes and just get into the know of what's going on, what are guys doing, or how they're reacting, there's another app called Twitch. Go on Twitch. Follow some of these guys that play Madden all the time. See what they're talking about. See what they're doing. Just get into the know. It's easy things you can do from the palm of your hand that'll make you better.
I can dig that shit, bro. Beatty was in his division though, right? Beatty, you ain't got nothing on Derek?
I would switch him and Tig. I feel Tig is probably better than Derek. Like I said, he jumped out early, you know, running power scheme, but after that, like I said, he didn't make it through. He quit. You know, after pain beat on him a little bit, and that's what he quit. So that alone is a demotion in my eyes. You know, that's a fallback when you quit. I mean, we can blame the game because it sucked, but you didn't quit till after pain beat on you a couple times. I mean, I understand that. I would quit too. Damn it, pain beat on you, nigga. That shit hurt, dog. It don't feel good. It don't.
Damn, I ain't know he quit.
I think he started going through some things, man. You know, he had some issues or whatever. But yeah, we gonna get into speaking of guys who stuck in their ways. Number 21, we got the man himself, the nigga they love to hate, Earl, coming in at 21. Beatty, what you think about your boy Earl at 21 at GM?
GM wise, when we talk about player development and roster building, Earl is A1. top 7, top 6. He up in my mind. He's up there. And the fact that he is in the 20s at all is, I think he's a low teen kind of guy overall. And he probably don't play up to his potential a lot of times, but he's a better Madden player when he's less angry, I should say. But he's a very good GM. He's not a 21-ish area guy. He's a low teens, 10, 9, 8, somewhere in that range guy.
My thing with Earl is he's very stubborn. He will not give in to the fact that Madden is a video game. And if he did, then I would agree with you. He'd be close to top 10, like I said about Keeper. But he refuses to do that. You know, he won't conform. And it hurts his game. He's a good GM, like you said. He's a great GM. He make great moves. He build guys. He build storyline guys like, what's that, the guy from The Wire, the star of The Wire. I forgot the big drug, Barksdale. Barksdale was a good player. But Earl, like, he just refused to do what works in Madden, and that hurts his game. And until he gives, because Earl been like this since he joined the group. Until Earl gives in into doing things that works, he's gonna stay here, in my opinion. What you got, Rio?
Offensively, I think everybody knows, no secret at all, Earl's gonna run the ball, and that's that's through his game. It's really hurting his game because he runs. Not only does running too much hurt his game, he's not able to, quote unquote, learn pass plays that work. Third and like long. I think a lot of guys, when it's third and long, I know cover the post route, because this nigga gonna try to send somebody over the middle with the burst or just the tight end post, or cover them the outside, because somebody's gonna try to run that flag route and he's gonna try to boomerang that boomerang route. I call it the boomerang. So he doesn't have a lot of pass plays when it is time to pass. And it's real simple to know exactly where he's going to pass when he's passing. Defensively, I really don't know what Earl's issue is on defense. Just another standard. I definitely know he doesn't use her very well. Earl refuses to be a user. So
fight gonna come with that.
Whatever gap, man, Earl don't want that. Whatever gap the cover 3 has is going to be there, because he's not going to adjust the route or the coverages. Whatever gaps cover 4 has, and typically a lot of people can read those cover 4, cover 3s, and they know exactly where to throw it to. So, yeah, man, just real standard on defense. He did blitz a little bit. I like the fact that he did blitz, but he didn't overly blitz. I think he just need to pick up his user ability. And like you said, Earl don't want to conform. So for me, I found out like 3-4 played the run a whole lot better. Earl was like, yo, fuck that. I'm gonna come out in this, and then you would break a long run, and that nigga would just go bananas. Like, he would be in cover 4 trying to cover that deep route, that street, and you'd be like, yo, cover 4 don't really cover that shit. He'd be like, fuck that. Cover 4 work in real life. I'm gonna use cover 4. And finally he stopped using that cover 4 to cover the deep routes. But, yeah, he's just real stubborn. Stubborn is a good word for his Madden game.
All right. Kyle, what you got on Earl at 21, Chip?
And I'm going to be right back.
I don't know. That's probably a good spot for Earl. Even though I think Earl is better than 21, I'm going off of what he did this previous Madden. I don't think he made the playoffs. Did he? I think he came close, like 3 or 4 times.
And he lost to Alden. Alden beat him before he made the playoffs.
I think he came close like 3 or 4 times. Like, he needed to win a game to get in. Then he lost all the games or some shit like that. But Earl is another guy I think we need to have in the league as far as his personality, when he's not going too overboard. Like Betty was saying, I think he's a good GM. He develops players. He makes solid trades. He's not going to lose on a trade. I guarantee you that. He'll never lose on a trade. He'll develop his players. As far as gameplay, he needs to learn how to pass, like, badly. He doesn't know how to pass at all. I mean, if you watch Earl play, if he has to pass the ball, he'll get sacked so many times that he holds the ball for so long. I don't know if he out there trying to make reads like he Drew Brees or whatever. What's going on? But if the tight end isn't open, it's like then he'll get stuck on throwing streaks as well. He'll get stuck on throwing streaks if he get behind. But yeah, I think this is probably the right spot for Earl. But I think he'll be better next Madden though.
I can dig it. I think Earl will be better too, man. As long as he open that pass up and learn some cover phobias, nigga.
Yeah, that's another thing. I think Earl is one of those guys where he watches the game. If he see one thing that's some fuck shit, his whole game is thrown off because he's just focused on that one cornerback they made a funny step, or they cover four that didn't cover that streak route. It's like he's like I was a couple of Maddens ago where Los told me I focused too. What you told me? I get too mad and get too stuck on one thing and my whole game is gone. It's like real life. You're playing football. The play is over. Let it go and move on to the next play. He doesn't do that.
Word. I hope you're listening, Earl, my nigga. But at number 20, we got my boy who was in my division, old Courtney Jackson, Mr. Never Say Nothing at all. Baby, do you know anything about Courtney's GM, my nigga?
Yeah. Courtney looks for the value of the situation. So if you're going to work with Courtney on a deal, you're going to need to go into the deal knowing exactly what you want to offer at that point. Because if you give any leeway, the price goes up. In order to do this, though, you kind of have to actually get him to actually check a message, which is pretty difficult. And if you're lucky enough to agree on a deal and you send it, you got to get him to get in touch with Chopper so Chopper can log on under him and accept it for him. So it's complicated, but he makes good trades. He's never gonna do anything crazy. Never gonna trade anybody really good. No blockbuster stuff taking place, but he will deal. He is able to at times make good deals, and he develops people. He's pretty straight. He's just he's just a little more vocalness to it would give him more clout because people don't really talk to him enough. They can't get a good feel for him. It's hard to kind of strike up a conversation about a deal.
Hey,
I can dig it. Did we have somebody just
that's
join?
Earl. Hey, hang on, Earl. I'll patch you in a couple seconds. Go ahead. Y'all keep going.
All right. Courtney was another guy in my division, and Courtney is a fucking solid player, dude. Like, he has plays. He loved to run the swing route, but he wasn't stuck on it like some people we know. Swift. But he had these play action plays that would confuse the shit out of me, and I played him all year. And he had this little hitch route across the middle that gave me fits. Like, he's another guy that I had my foot on his neck. But Courtney made the playoffs a couple times, I think. I'm not sure, but he is a very solid player. He could stop the run. He gave Zeke hell. I think Zeke had his lowest running average against that guy. Like, I just think Courtney is really good. He could fall from 20 to at least 17, in my opinion. What you think?
I honestly, man, first of all, I haven't played this. I don't even remember playing this dude. So I don't have anything on his actual gameplay, but I do know his activeness or inactiveness, I should say, kind of hurts him. You know what I mean? Like, you got to be involved. You know what I mean? Like, know what's going on with the trades. I know he's a middle of the pack gameplay wise, just from the record that he has each year. It's never like bottom of the barrel, but at the same time, he's never top tier. So I honestly don't have too much on his gameplay, man. Even when I played him, if I did play him, I don't even remember it, man. So I don't have much to offer, Courtney. I'm sorry, dog. I did my work and ahead of time wrote notes, but I ain't had much on your gameplay, man. I mean, you just chicken sandwich, though.
So Rio ain't have much on Courtney. Kyle, you got anything on Courtney, man?
I was in the division with Courtney maybe a couple of months ago, and Courtney was a whole lot better. I really ain't got too much. I don't really have anything bad to say about Courtney. He's one of my Saints brothers, but he also is a Florida fan, so fuck it. Yeah, Courtney, he's one of those guys. He's slowly fading away. I don't know if he's coming into a life now, because he was pretty young when he first started playing with us, I believe, and so he's getting older now. So I don't know if he's getting settled into his life or whatever, but he should be a lot better. I think he's a better player. He should have been second in that division he was in with Lowe, Smith, and Pat. He should have been coming in second consistently in that division. He should have. And I wanna bring Earl in and let Earl comment on
Man, I'm about to go to sleep, man. Shit, man.
What's going on, fellas? What's going on, man?
What's the deal?
Yeah, we hear you,
man. Can you hear me? You good? You good?
Yeah.
Yeah, we hear you.
Anyway, man. I'm kind of shocked that Lowe's put me at 21. I mean, I believe I was at least 18, 19 guy. Yeah, stretch 17, because I did have 2 or 3 poor seasons. Coming around, figuring out my XP, things like that. I did make the playoffs. I lost to Minaj in the first round. I could have made it the second time, but I fumbled like 3 times, like in the 2 minutes against Alton, and I lost the game against Alton to kick me out the playoffs. Rio, I don't know, Rio was way off with its synopsis on my using skill. That is absolutely ridiculous. I was like, what? Like, come on, I'm not using. Are you crazy? I believe since I had Paul Barber, my use skills transcend from Paul Barber, and it went up. And I don't know. I mean, am I Rio middle linebacker user? Hell no, I don't think no. I think Rio is one of the best middle linebacker users in the league. League
That
one
nigga
and
plus
two.
triangle. That nigga plus triangle.
Yeah, I mean, regardless, he does. I mean, regardless, he does. I mean, if he do, he do. Either way it goes, he's good at it. You know what I'm saying? But all in all, man, y'all was right about the passes. I can't pass, bro. I can't. And I just don't think that Los, man. Cause Los, man, I think that we got to get off that. I'm so stuck in. I'm not stuck in my way. That's just what I know. I believe football is one on the ground, and I'm gonna run the bitch. I'm gonna run it till the wheels fall off. Yeah, do I win games with it? Sometimes I do. Sometimes I do. Do I get to go against a good player and do that? No. I mean, it don't work sometimes. But if you're gonna sit in the cover 4 on me, I'm just gonna run the ball. But remind you, Earl thinks football, real football, in the cover 4 because you stopped around the cover 4. You don't supposed to, but it happened. So I just want to put in my little 2 cents about that, man. And, hopefully we get it going. It's mad. I'm doing some different things this off season, trying to get better. I believe I'm better than Archie. Archie should not be ahead of me. Los. So you need to fix that. To me, I mean, I only think Jordan is, and And I was like, smart guy. I was like 3-1 or 4-1 against Jordan. He's a bum, but yeah, I'm pretty sure he's gonna be high. He's gonna be ranked high. I'm pretty sure he's gonna be ranked high. But we'll see.
All right, Earl, thanks for
Thanks
for calling in, man. Appreciate your feedback. We're gonna go ahead and gonna keep this thing moving.
One thing I will say, this podcast and Los Rankings is a great help because it gives outside perspective. Like, you can't really see what you're doing wrong all the time. So for somebody else to come in and I agree with you, Earl. You use the players a lot, but it's a lot of times you don't fully make the play with your users. So, hey, it's cool that you see it differently, and I agree with you. You know what I mean? You do use her a lot, but it's not top tier to me. So,
Earl, the complaints you had, the next 5 guys in front of you made the playoffs. You didn't.
He said he made it once.
We gonna go on to. Okay, I'll have to pull that up. But at number 19, we got Earl's good buddy, my boy Bo, coming in at 19. Beatty, you ain't fell asleep on me, have you? What you got, Bo at GM?
Your homie.
Bo? Bo, true to his personality, his GM skill is basically a following behind a copycat type situation, So what he does basically, because he had the opportunity, this last release was he had more time to be able to watch streams, watch people's moves, kind of see what they do, and he modeled himself and his style after what Cal did and after what Reed did. I saw a lot of what Cal and Reed's methods. That's kind of what Bo was doing. He did a good job of building some people up and trading them away, and he actually built a pretty solid defense. Other than that, though, we need a little more record on Bo, because up to this point, to this last release, he wasn't about much of nothing. So we're gonna need to see him do this again, this next release, before we can say that he's actually a better than average GM.
In my eyes, Bo is trending up. He won one of the tougher divisions in our group. Like, he was in the division with Swift, Quan, and Vince, and he won that division. It was year 1 or 2, I don't remember. But he made solid trades. Like, Reed was dumping mad speed off in Chicago. I think he got like Dorsett and Hugh Health. He got Shaq Lawson from Reed too. He got Aaron Donald for Payne at the selection show. So I think, and actually he played better. You know what I'm saying? Bo beat me on some fluke shit, but he beat me. So, like, Bo is trending upward, in my opinion. And Rio, what you got for Bo?
It's funny because I don't know if y'all heard the videos or whatever, but Bo said I give him a lot of problems. And one reason I give Bo a lot of problems, he attacks the middle of the field. A lot of people that I beat, and y'all kind of heard Earl say it, I use the middle linebacker. Yeah, I can get to those comeback routes. Yeah, I can get to those slants every now and then, those flag routes. But the people I give the most fit is the people that runs a lot of drag, a lot of in routes, a lot of post routes, because they're trying to go over the middle. Bo falls into that category. I think he needs to run a little bit more. He runs a little bit. He's not completely one-sided, but I think he needs to run a little bit more. Like, if you stop him for 3 yards, maybe 3 or 4 times, he's going to give up on that run and start passing a little bit more. Defensively, I think he's the standard play caller. I don't see him, changing those middle linebackers. Like, one thing I learned is sometimes players are not going to cover the zones they are designed to cover. So you would have to manually scoot that left outside linebacker to where he's going to automatically go to the flats. I don't see Bo making those adjustments. He's pretty good, though. He's solid, and that's not a knock on his game. I'm just saying, in order to increase and get a little bit better, start manually adjusting those zones. Start using that run a little bit more. Start attacking the outside, the deep outside. when I played Bo, which was maybe twice this year, he didn't throw streaks. He didn't, I learned, even though I consider streaks cheesy, it makes the defense, it takes that safety away from that middle of the field. It takes that safety away from that middle range is what I'm saying, that linebacker territory. So open up the playbook a little bit more.
I can dig it. Cal, what you got on your boy Bo, bro?
All right, real quick, Bo should have been ahead of the next guy most definitely. That's going to be on the list. Bo,
I don't think so.
Bo GM skills, this Madden went through the roof. Because he developed a relationship with Reed. I don't know what the hell they had going on, but he got all the really good players, and it really turned his team into a great team. And he should have won. Bo should have won a lot more with that team because he started out. He won more when he had a worse team. The better his team got, like the worse he played. I don't know if he was depending on the players too much and not skill. I don't know what it was, but the better his team got, the worse he played. And to what Beatty said about copying, I mean, that's what guys who aren't that good should do. Watch streams, see what people are doing, and try to copy that. I mean, that's what I do. That's what mainly most people in the league do. They copy each other. That's why most leagues run the same thing within that league, because everybody copies each other. But other than that, Bo should have been one spot higher than the next guy.
All right.
One last thing on Bo. Bo falls into the category, but Bo is too much of a quote-unquote nice guy. He'll trying to be friendly, trying to fit into a crowd. He'll give up a little bit more than he has to, or I think he lets off the gas, or whatever the case may be. But he's a really nice guy, and you'll see it in some of the trades, transactions, gameplay. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even remember Bo blowing anybody out. You know what I mean? So.
And Bo's nickname should be Watchdog. Best believe he's watching.
All right. So at 19 was Bo, and at 18 we got the guy that Kyle say Bo should have been higher than. I disagree, and I'll tell you my reasons why. We got that boy PAT. You know what I'm saying? The clown prince of the league, man. When he on, Beatty, what you got on Pat, bro?
Well, Bo would get the nod at being a better GM than Pat. I'll give him that. And so, GM-wise with Pat, like Pat's another guy, man. If you set a trade in as soon as the advance take place, and you wait, he'll accept it like 5 minutes before it's time for the next advance. He'll do it, but he's very specific. He comes on and he asks for what he wants. And then he'll make his trade, and then unless he initiates something, he's not gonna really do it. He has initiated, and then it'll happen. He's not much for development, He's not much for doing anything other than playing his game, kind of getting off and doing his thing. But he's not much for development, which means he's not that great of a GM. I would definitely say GM wise, he's like a mid to low 20s GM.
Yeah, I agree with that on Pat. But as far as gameplay, like, Pat is one of the most exciting shit talkers in our league. Like, our league needs prime Pat all the fucking time. Pat talks shit like he's got this wide open ass offense. He talks shit like he play like Nav and Carmen. but his game actually resembles Earl more. You know what I'm saying? He'll run that bitch into the ground. He may throw a deep streak on. His offense is very simple. His defense consists of 2 plays. But with that said, Pat gave me hell for 5 seasons, my nigga. I think he won the division twice, and he beat me in the playoffs. I don't remember Bo winning a playoff game, Kyle. I don't know. You can help me with that. But Pat has been to the playoff on numerous occasions, and he don't even progress his players. He just load up and play, my nigga. So if Pat progressed his players, I think he'd get back to, to what a place where he think he is. What you got, Rio?
I was actually wondering about that. I had that on my playbook, but I wasn't certain because I don't check rosters as often. He has a lot of stock players. You know what I mean? Gameplay-wise, like user on defense, I think Pat is top. I definitely think he's top 10 user on defense. I want to go a little bit higher, but it's some other cats in here that use it a lot. But defensively, Pat was the original person. I don't know what it is about Pat. Like, he is a pass coverage. Like, he doesn't cover the run very well on defense. Like, if you run the ball, you can really attack Pat pretty good because he loves pass coverage for some reason. But it's a strength because his user skill is pretty good. It's a flaw because he's very susceptible to the run. Offensively, he's really dry. Like, and Pat, if you listen to Pat trash talk, he'll even tell you his defense is cold, but his offense is trash. Not verbatim. Like, he don't come out and say that, but he'll say, "You can't score against me. This dude is suck. He sucks." Like, but he never brags about his offense. Just pay attention to the trash talk. And when he talks about blowing somebody out, it'll be like a 10-3 game or like it'll be a field goal game because his offense is really dry. Like, he doesn't pass well. He'll run the ball, but it's not really like Earl runs the ball too much. But even though he runs too much, it works. Pat runs the ball, and it's like, damn, you just gonna punt the ball. You okay with punting the ball? So, raw offense and great user defense, but he's susceptible to the run. So,
Okay, Kyle, what you got, bro?
Somebody screenshot me.
let me hold up, do it again. I got.
You gotta say something, nigga.
Who's the class 03?
Pat, Reed, Los, and Hall.
And true to that class, Pat has definitely turned into Darko. Pat used to be a guy he's always lab with. We used to always play games. But Pat been running on Madden luck for about 2 Maddens, and his luck is finally running out. Pat is garbage. I'm sorry. Pat cool. His videos be cool. But Pat he'll talk a lot of shit and get blown the fuck out. I watched some games, and it was like, Pat has turned into the guy who talks about somebody's roster. Like, oh, your team is this good. Like, what the you started with the same opportunities to develop your players. You talking about Los team his team is a lot better than mine. Well, if you trade players, just like a couple of months ago, he had Jerick McKinnon on his bench. Yeah. He will not trade me Jerick McKinnon. Jerick McKinnon was a beast. Pat, trade me Jerick McKinnon. He won't trade him. Jerick McKinnon contract was up. What Pat do? Pat re-signed him and set him back on his bench the whole fucking Madden. The guy is not good. He runs defense 3-4 cover 3, 3-4 cover 4. He throwing a little 3-3-5 here and there. When Carmen said something about it gave him fits in a different league, Pat started throwing in some 3-3-5. On offense, he's running tosses. He's running tight end streaks. I don't see how Pat gave Los trouble. I don't see how Pat gives anybody trouble. Pat is garbage. Pat should have been dropped down by 5 spots from where he's at right now. That guy does not scare nobody.
But he made the playoffs like 3 times, Kyle. Like, it ain't just Los, though.
But you are known to choke sometimes.
Oh, shit.
But he played me twice. Two wins don't get you to the playoffs, my nigga.
Hey.
Is all I'm saying.
Earl made the playoffs. Bo made the playoffs. Derek made the playoffs. All those guys made playoffs.
1-1-1. And them 3 combined made what Pat made by himself.
So he made two playoffs out of 8?
He made three playoffs.
3 playoffs out of 8, and we talking about talking about Pat is in the teens.
Who else behind him made 3 playoffs?
I gotta see 3 playoffs, and I gotta see who was in that conference when he made those playoffs, and when he made those playoffs. I gotta see this.
Go look it up.
That's his Pat
From
slander,
what I remember, Pat. I seen Pat play. Pat supposed to be on the same level as y'all. I seen Pat play Reed. It was so fucking terrible. Reed was in the inbox talking so much shit about how terrible this guy is. He was treating this dude like he was Tig or some shit, like he was Alton. This supposed to be a... Come on, bro. This dude fell the fuck off. He fell off. I'm sorry. And I hope this make him mad and he gets better, because he is trash.
What they got to say about the guys that's all behind him, my nigga, because they didn't make the playoffs as much as Pat.
Hey, they know they're not that good neither, but none of them fell off like Pat, though. Pat was a fucking top 8 player 3 matches ago.
He was good.
Loshi,
but he's still been the same
you like
guy.
Spider-Man right now. You got your web out. You trying to hang on to him. Let him go.
Ain't no hang on. He's just better than the guys I named.
He's dark
before.
though.
That's just what I'm saying.
So you saying Pat was better than Bo? Realistically,
yes.
No.
Yes. All right. That's just how I feel.
No.
All right. We got one more, dog. At 17, we got my boy Ivan. We got my boy Ivan come in at 17. Beatty, one more GM reference. What you think about Ivan as a GM?
As a GM, he's not that bad. He's a lot more active in inquiring about people whenever they put out there. He's a lot more active in his dealings. He's pretty realistic in value. He don't get too carried away with it. I traded some people, but he's actually developed. I traded him a really good quarterback, but he developed one too. He developed some good. He's actually, his GM skills have increased. I would give him an upward trend, not as upward as Bo's trend, and not as upward as Bo. I would say he would be. Yeah, he's up there, not at the level that Bo is kind of trending a little bit as far as GM goes, but he's done a much better job than when he first got in.
I can dig it. I don't know about his GM trend. I'll take your word for it, but as a player, I think Ivan on my rankings has made the biggest jump out of anybody. He jumped 10 spots. And I don't know if that's an effect from Armani leaving the division or not, but this guy, Ivan, can pass the ball. And I know he played quarterback in high school, but I know it was an option offense probably, you know what I'm saying, knowing Louisiana football. But he was sit in the pocket and dot your ass up, especially if you playing zone. He knows how to find the holes in the zones, and he attacks them. He made good players, like his receivers was good. I think he had a good quarterback. Did he get the mixed shooter guy from Beatty? I don't know.
Yeah,
but
he got him he only got him when he was developing got hurt. That's the only reason he traded for him. Yeah.
Okay, well, and he consistently won that division. It wasn't the best division. It probably was the worst division. But anyway, that guy is coming along. His skill is trending upward. I expect Ivan to continue getting better. What you got, Rio?
Great passer, not so great runner. Which once I figured that out, I was in a division with him in League 1 and League 2. I left League 1 early, and I played him a lot in League 2. And I'm like you. If I came out in a balanced defense, and I saw him, like you said, dotting me up. Once I realized all he does is pass, and I'm not saying like he don't run at all, but once I stayed in my pass coverages, he had a lot more trouble, and that's where I found my advantage against him. Defensively, he's frustrating, dog. Like, he blitzes when you don't expect him to. He plays pretty good coverage. User, middle of the road, is not great. You know, he's not going to win the game on the strength of his user skill. But, you know, he holds his own. He covers the zone that he's supposed to, and he'll react to the run pretty good. So he's a decent, pretty good defensive player. I think he needs to mix in the run a lot more. And once he, you know, force you to commit to the run or force you to at least respect the run, then his dotting up ability will be that much better, dog. But fuck him, because I don't like him. You know what I mean? Me and him had a heated rivalry. You know what I mean? So, cool guy, though. Me and him in the inbox chopping it up on a lot of fronts. So, he a cool dude, but we had a rival, so.
Kyle, what you got on your boy Ivan, dog?
Ivan, that's my Saints brother. Ain't got nothing bad to say about Ivan. I think, real talk, Ivan shouldn't have been on day one. Ivan should have been on day two. I don't remember how the 1 through 16 went, but I can think off the top of my head, Ivan is better than at least 2 or 3 of those guys. Ivan.
Cliff should have been day one.
Ivan, I seen Ivan. I played Ivan. Ivan was dotting me up. I think, man, I like, damn, maybe it's just my defense. I seen him playing Reed. He was dotting Reed ass up. I think Ivan suffered from being in the division with Armani. And then, other than that, when he left, I think Ivan won a division almost every year. He won,
damn near.
The division almost every year.
Sam won it one
after
year.
Armani left, so Ivan should have been a lot higher. Only thing, Ivan, his defense maybe didn't get better. When something happens, he's the same type of way. He gets frustrated and throws his game off. GM skills, he probably progress his players a little bit better and probably try to get a little bit better trades. I don't remember him. I don't too much remember Ivan being such a big player in the off season as far as like trades and picks and stuff like that. I know he made some trades in the beginning of Madden that he didn't really stick with. So that might have slowed him down a little bit. But other than that, I think Ivan should have been higher than that.
I can dig it. Anybody else on the Ivan bandwagon like that?
Well, yeah, he's probably better than Jordan right now, and I would say that he's probably on the I look at him and Swift as about kind of the same level at this point.
Yeah, I think Ivan was a day 2 person. I think Cliff was a day 1 person. I think damn, who you just say, Swift? Swift right there. But looking at my list, I think Dave, going off of this release alone, I think Dave was definitely a day 1 person. But
see, that's the anomaly of Dave though, because you used to seeing Dave such a certain way. He only dropped 1 slot. He really wasn't that much worse than he was year before. It's just you just.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead, babe. My bad.
He just Dave wasn't as bad as I think Dave was right. Dave wasn't as bad as we perceived just because we were used to seeing the
right. Dave. I don't think people realize how many times he made the playoffs.
And when I say Dave fell off, I'm going against, for one, my experience with the dude. And like you said, back in the day, you would play Dave and you couldn't make no mistakes. Like, Dave wasn't like an overly great player. Like, he would small ball you all the way down the field. And then this motherfucker would clap you could hear him clapping when he played. That clap, that shit made me so frustrated. But he wasn't overly great. He just capitalized on mistakes. This year and towards last year, pretty much, when I played Dave, I won our matchups. I had a winning record against him. And it was just kind of to the point where, you know, hey, this ain't the same Dave. You make a little bit more mistakes. You don't read as well as you used to. And shit, to me, I saw him, you know what I mean, fall back gameplay wise.
Yeah, the thing with Dave that you have to look at too is he's had 2 really bad releases back to back for what we're used to, and he is still only number 9.
Yeah, but those number 9s, it's a shifty number. Like, guys quit early. You added these other guys late. Like, I don't know. He made it to day 2 for me, but we'll see how day 2 shake out whenever it happens.
And real quick before we get up out of here, I just want to go back. Pat made the playoffs twice, not 3 times.
Okay.
He beat Los in the playoffs 1 time, then ran up on Carmen second round. And another time he made it, he beat Spencer in the first round and ran up on Carmen and got beat 55-14. He made it twice out of 8 seasons, not 3 times.
And he got 2 playoffs.
No, season 2 and season 4. That's it.
All right, did you look at all the other guys and how many playoff wins they have combined behind
The playoff wins he had was against a guy he played twice already that season, and Spencer.
You didn't answer my question. From 19 to 32, how many combined playoff wins those guys got?
More than 2.
I bet. Let's bet. Hold on, let me see. Playoff wins? You sure? I'm willing to bet on that.
You probably wouldn't have bet he made the playoffs 3 times too, right?
I don't know. I was shaking on that, but I bet he still got more playoff wins than everybody behind him combined. Like, how can you knock that?
But okay,
from 19 to 32.
Okay, but you talking about 2 seasons in the first 4 seasons of the CFM. What about season 5, 6, 7, and 8? When the NFC when the NFC got weaker.
Okay.
When Nav left, when Carmen left, the NFC got weaker and he still didn't make the playoffs.
Neither did Bo. Bo made his early. I think he was year 1.
What I'm saying is,
so how are you putting Bo over him?
Do what?
How are you putting Bo over him?
Bo had tougher competition in his division. Pat had you.
But he only. I don't know how to.
Bo had Taquan, he had Swift, he had Vince.
But he made the playoffs.
Exactly.
Kyle?
Pat only had you.
But he made them so he couldn't make the playoffs anymore.
This is what I'm saying. Pat only had you in the division.
He still had 2 playoff wins. I don't. You have your opinion. I have mine. You have your opinion. I have mine.
Dude, it was just you and him in the division. The conference got weaker, and he stopped making the playoffs. He only made it twice in the first place.
Okay.
Got carried through though.
I don't know what to say about that, but like the NFC was the tougher conference. Just because it's a play, he made the wild card. What? He won our division. Bo would have won the NFC East.
Why wouldn't if he won it with Taquan, Swift, and Vince?
I don't know. I'm nicer than them niggas.
Okay, I seen you lose. I seen you lose a block before too.
Ooh, you gotta end on that. You gotta end on that one. Oh,
but he lost twice to Chef, my nigga. What, like,
out of 16 times, you
man.
would play block once that batting.
Cut it out, Kyle. Cut it out. But yeah, man, when you want to do day 2, Kyle?
It's up to you.
We'll talk about it. We'll get the schedules together, man. I don't know what day 2, but we'll announce it later.
A lot earlier than this.
Hell yeah, nigga, I'm gonna be mad than a motherfucker, bro.
I'm not going to the gym.
Nigga,
Anybody else got anything they want to add? I know y'all probably tell you I work tomorrow.
Hey,
I'm
out.
good.
I appreciate y'all coming through. The like button, subscribe. We out of here.